This humble little knife is France's equivalent to the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre of knife making. It is an iconic blade with a perfect design. It's the Opinel No. 7, and I'd argue it is as iconic as the Bowie knife or even the venerable Buck 110. Hi there, I'm Don, welcome back to On the Scout. Today I'm going to tell you the story of my Opinel No. 7. I'm also going to tell you how to sharpen, clean, maintain, and even tune the lock mechanism of your own Opinel knife. 17 years ago, I was in Paris for the first time in my life. I was walking around, seeing the sights, seeing the Arc de Triomphe, seeing the Eiffel Tower, and at a camping store, Au Vieux Campeur, I think it means old camper, I saw this knife behind the counter. Something about it, about the carrot-like handle, it kind of has a strange taper, fits the hand well. It's just simple stained wood, steel cap, steel rotating lock, steel pin, carbon steel blade, not a full tang. In that era of knife making, knives were being overbuilt to a 1/4 inch thick. They're being treated like axes or pry bars. And this knife was against all of that design convention of bushcraft or tough guy or survival knives. This is a knife for people that use a knife every day and they don't need any pretense. I brought this knife back, and that next year, I hiked the Appalachian Trail with this knife in my pocket. Unfortunately for me, the Opinel blade caught a lot of sweat and condensation and got a nice patina. And actually, I think I like the way it looks. And I sharpened it and sharpened it. I learned how to sharpen a knife on this very knife. You rotate the locking collar, match up the lines, you just simply fold it, and you rotate the other way, and it locks yet again, so it can't open in your pocket. It's such a safe, simple design with so few parts. It isn't designed to be robust like a survival knife. It's designed to go around and cut your apples, cut an orange, or cut a summer sausage for a snack. A perfect knife for a picnic or a hiker. It weighs so little. It's as reliable as ever, locked up, open, little fingernail scallop for the fingernail to open it, and lock it. It's a secure locking mechanism. It isn't meant for heavy duty use. If you try to batter it through stuff and whittle and push through wood, yeah, it'll loosen up and you have to lock it again. But the locking mechanism is perfect for that 1 or 2 cuts. So I want to talk about how I take care of this knife. So this knife is very patinaed out. Patina is the rust and oxidation that happens in the blade of a knife. I have some Ballistol. I have a cute little bottle of Ballistol for this cute little knife. I'm just gonna put a drop of Ballistol on the blade, let it run down into the lock. Sometimes that lock mechanism, the wood swells up when it gets damp, and it makes it hard to open and close. So having Ballistol run down into that hinge not only keeps the wood waterproof, but also lubricates it and keeps that part from getting rusty. Now I'm gonna wipe the blade with the Ballistol on both sides, get a little bit of the wood, get the edges. So Ballistol is a German-made gun oil, but also a multi-purpose WD-40. It's food safe. Using my Opinel as a picnic knife to cut fruit, cut vegetables, and cut meat, this can't make me sick. It's food safe mineral oil. I use this exclusively to keep my carbon steel kitchen knives and my picnic knife free of rust and further patina and damage. So I don't feel any bad about this having it on my hands or eating right after. But let's look at another Opinel I have in my inventory. Somewhere along the line, about 10 years ago, I was on an expedition in Argentina and I forgot my trusty Opinel, I forgot my Leatherman, I forgot all my edge tools. Big bummer. I was in a foreign country without a knife, so I went down to the camping store down the street from the hotel and I saw another Opinel. As you notice here, the logo is way different. So in the 10 years since I got the other Opinel and this one, the logo had changed. It says Opinel Savoie France Carbone. And it says Opinel Carbone, and it has a tiny hand logo pointing at the crown. It's a classic logo from since the turn of the century. Compared to the old one, I like the old one better. The one I got in France has the Opinel with a huge logo, Opinel France. It doesn't have, you probably used to have a similar logoing on the side, but it's been since long worn off. You can see that in 10 years, the number 7 hasn't changed much. This one has a big beefy foot to the handle. Some people might like that. It's a bigger, beefier handle. This one has the classic kind of carrot pointed. I got through the expedition and I noticed that this Opinel didn't really pass QC. The lock mechanism is really loose. There's so much play. I was pretty bummed about that. No matter how much you try to lock it and squeeze it in, if you use it, it loosens itself more and more until it gets slammed shut. So let's deal with this knife. Not only we're gonna fix it, tighten the lock, we're gonna sharpen it, and we're also gonna oil the blade up. I have a Leatherman pliers and I have a stick. I'm gonna use the stick to squeeze, and I'm gonna put the points of the Leatherman into the lock. I'm putting it in between, twisting and pushing. I've loosened the lock. Whoop. I'm gonna tighten this a little bit too. So squeeze it just a little bit gently with this Leatherman tool, just to tighten it up a bit. Get it back on. Much better, it's a little bit more friction. I'd say it's a little bit better than my old original number 7. So to sharpen this awesome tiny little knife, I have 2 adorable tiny little diamond stones. So I'm gonna use the slightly coarser red one. As you notice, this is a very, very steep blade angle of this blade edge. I'm gonna work gentle circles. This stone is grinding down that super fine edge. You see this lighter metal exposed? This is new metal exposed. I'll sharpen the other side. This is a knife that's easy to sharpen because it's so thin. The blue is a finer grit, and this finer grit stone is gonna make a fine edge of this. So now the true test of this little Opinel, its true purpose in life, to cut me a little snack from this tiny summer sausage. Nice. If you can't wash your knife with soap and water to get off the fat and salt and brine, wipe it down a little bit, treat it with this tiny bottle of Ballistol to slow down the rust. A funny story about my Opinel, it's such a little unobtrusive knife. I think it's actually legal almost everywhere in the world where you can carry a knife. I was in New York City right after a bunch of new knife laws passed, having breakfast, opening my care packages, opening my mail, and I pulled out my trusty Opinel and it's opening my USPS package from home. This gal comes up with a nose ring and she goes, "Don't you know there's a knife law? That knife is too big to own." And I can't put it against my hand. I go, "Ma'am, this is a 3.25-inch Opinel number 7. This knife is well behind the 4-inch blade law in New York City." She wouldn't have any of it. She insisted that if I didn't put away my scary, scary Opinel, she would call the police and have me thrown out. So I had to put it away. That's the story of my Opinel. Do you have cool stories of your Opinel number 7, 8, or whatever size have you? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear all the cool, unique stories. In the prior video, I have stories about a German knife, and so many people from Germany, from the past, from the Vietnam War veterans came in and told their stories. Join me on Patreon if you want to support niche content like this. Also, like, subscribe, share this content. It helps beat the algorithm more than anything. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Don on the Scout.